The presenter Phillip Schofield, he's a British TV presenter, has resigned from ITV after acknowledging that he had an affair with a younger male colleague at This Morning. He has stepped down from presenting the British Soap Awards. In a statement, Mr. Schofield said he had lied about the relationship to ITV as well as his agents, lawyers and family. He said the relationship was, quote, unwise but not illegal. Let's go straight to our reporter Nikki Schiller, who joins me live from the newsroom. Nikki, obviously this has been a story that's been developing for some time, but just bring us up to date.
Yes, it's probably worth giving you a little bit of background to start with, Yada, because viewers around the world may not realise just how big a star Phillip Schofield is in the United Kingdom. He presented This Morning programme on ITV, which is a morning show, for over 20 years. And he stood down from that position last weekend. And it was amongst reports that he had a rift with his co-presenter Holly Willoughby, and there's been a lot of press speculation since then over the last 7 days, and now in the last few minutes we've had a statement from Mr. Schofield. I'm going to read you. It's quite long, but it is important that we get across all of the detail that he is saying. So it is a statement from Mr. Schofield, and it was given to the Daily Mail, and you'll understand why when I read through it. It says, "I am making this statement via the Daily Mail, to whom I've already apologised personally for misleading through my lawyer, who I also misled, about a story which they wanted to write about me a few days ago." He goes on, "The first thing I want to say is I am deeply sorry for having lied to them and to many others about a relationship that I had with someone working on This Morning. I did have a consensual on-off relationship with a younger male colleague at This Morning." He goes on to say, "Contrary to speculation, whilst I met the man when he was a teenager and was asked to help him to get into television, it was only after he started to work on the show that it became more than just a friendship. The relationship," he says, "was unwise but not illegal. It is now over." He goes on to say, "When I chose to come out, I did so entirely for my own well-being. I should say that he came out in 2020. He adds, "Nobody forced me out. Neither I nor anyone else to my knowledge has ever issued an injunction, super or otherwise, about my relationship with this colleague. He was never moved on or sacked by or because of me. In an effort to protect my ex-colleague, I haven't been truthful about the relationship. But my recent unrelated departure from This Morning fueled speculation and raised questions which have been impacting him. So for his sake, it is important for me to be honest now." He goes on to say, "I am painfully conscious that I have lied to my employers at ITV, to my colleagues and friends, to my agents, to the media, and therefore the public, and most importantly of all, to my family. I am so very, very sorry, as I am for having been unfaithful to my wife. I have therefore decided to step down from the British Soap Awards, my last public commitment, and I am resigning from ITV with immediate effect, expressing my immense gratitude to them for the amazing opportunities that they have given me." He adds, "I will reflect on what he says my very bad judgment in both participating in the relationship and then lying about it. To protect his privacy, I am not naming this individual, and my deepest wish is that both he and his family can now move on with their lives free from further intrusion, and that this statement will enable them to do so." He ends, "I ask the media now to respect their privacy. They have done nothing wrong, and I ask that their privacy should be respected." Now, we should also say he has parted ways with his agents, who he has been with for many years. They have issued a statement. It says, "It is with the most profound regret that after 35 years of being flawlessly managed by YMU, I have agreed to step down from their representation with immediate effect." That the quote from Mr. Schofield. There was a statement from the agency saying, "Honesty and integrity are core values for YMU's whole business, defining everything we do. Talent management is a relationship based entirely on trust. This week we have learned new important information about our client Phillip Schofield. These facts contradicted what Phillip had previously told YMU, and that as well as external advisors we brought in to support him. As a result, we have agreed to part company with Phillip with immediate effect." So There we have it, the statement from Mr. Schofield. He has resigned from ITV after admitting to having an affair with a younger male ITV employee whilst he was still married.
Nikki, this is a dramatic end to a long career, and it's really been a dramatic few weeks for Phillip Schofield. We saw initially that dispute between him and his co-host that sort of boiled over and became very public, and then he stepped down from his position, and of course all of this speculation as a result of him sort of moving away from This Morning to begin with. And we're looking at both of them, the images of both of them right now of the TV hosts.
Yeah, that's right. It's Phillip Schofield and Holly Willoughby, and they've been a partnership, or had been a partnership until last weekend, for 13 years on This Morning. Phillip himself has presented it for over 20 years, but Holly joined him 13 years ago, and they have been the golden couple, really, of morning television in the United Kingdom. And then there were these rumours of a rift. Now, some of it started last year when the late Queen Elizabeth died here in the United Kingdom, and they went to see her lying in state, and there were reports that they had so-called queue jumped. You may remember there was a very, very long queue to go and see the late Queen lying in state, and there were pictures emerged of them appearing to jump the queue. Now, ITV said that wasn't the case and that they were literally going into film for the public. But that's when the sort of relationship and the reports of different things came out. And then we also had Mr. Schofield's brother was convicted of a child sexual assault. And that then also put a rift between them, reports say, because some reports say that he didn't tell Holly Willoughby, his co-host, about that. And then we had the dramatic statement last weekend that he was resigning after 20 years on the programme. And then we now have this statement confirming that he had an affair with a younger male employee at ITV whilst he was still married. And I have to say, there were those stories that were going around between him resigning last weekend and now.
Nikki, thank you so much for bringing us up to date on that developing story.